So I don't know about you, but I can think of many times in my nonprofit career when I've really felt like I'm spinning my wheels and really not making progress on the most important goals I wanted to make progress on in my communications or fundraising work. This can happen for a lot of reasons, right? And today I want to talk about 3 ways that we can get ourselves out of this rut and get more done in our communications program. My name is Vanessa Lockshin, and if we haven't met before, hello. I am the founder and president of the Storytelling Nonprofit, a consulting and training company that works with organizations to help them tell stories that raise money and awareness. And one of the ways we do this is by helping organizations get their communication ducks in a row so that they can tell more stories and have more capacity and a plan to do just that. So let's get into today's 3 tips to help you get more done in your communications program. So tip number 1 for you is to actually systematize your tasks. Now, this probably sounds really boring. I promise it's not. It's actually one of the things that will really help you in your communications program. So I'd encourage you to make a list of regular tasks that you're doing. Maybe this is posting things on social media. Maybe it's getting your newsletter out the door. Maybe it's making up brochures or flyers for programs, all of these things. And actually create a process for getting these done, or a system more or less. And this is really about just helping you have clarity about what the steps are that need to happen. And one of the benefits of actually writing out the steps and thinking about what happens from start to finish in this process is that you can start to identify where are the areas that are maybe redundant, that could be cut back, that could be even streamlined, and really will help you be much more efficient in that process. The other thing I would say too is if you're working with a volunteer or maybe even other staff members on communications work, having this process written down will help you figure out how everyone can play a role in the process and have a high degree of clarity about how people are involved. And that's super helpful. Tip number 2 for you is to batch your content. I don't know about you, but I find sometimes getting social media stuff done is a thing that really starts to detract from me making progress on my most important work. And one of the things that I do is batch the content on a weekly or sometimes even monthly basis. So I'll explain what I mean by that. This essentially looks like sitting down on a Friday afternoon and thinking about, for the following week, what are the things I'm going to post on various social media channels, and then actually writing them and scheduling them. I use Hootsuite as a social media scheduler, but there's also a scheduler right inside Facebook. There's tons of other scheduling tools that you can check out as well. And again, this will help you reduce the time you spend on a day-to-day basis thinking and trying to remember to post on all of these different channels. This will again just streamline the process and ensure that you're consistently showing up where you want to with something interesting to say. So again, hopefully a time-saving tip for you to get more done and have more time to focus on the other tasks or projects that you want to focus on. The last tip that I have for you is to actually prioritize your tasks based on your most important goals. Now, maybe you saw our recent video on creating a 90-day communications plan where we talked about actually setting this goal and being able to develop a clear plan for it. And if not, I'll link to it at the end of this video. But what you really want to do is think about what are the tasks and projects that are actually value add, that are the really important things that will help us reach the goals that we want to reach. Prioritize those things first as opposed to other tasks that are not actually going to help you get there. This could be, and maybe this will be controversial, things like checking email and answering email all the time. Maybe you need to take an email break for an hour to focus on some other project work. Maybe you need to prioritize working on your project first thing when you get to the office. Maybe you spend your first hour working there on that most important tasks, and then you get to the other things a little later on in the day. You can think about structuring your schedule in different ways and trying some things out. But what I really want to encourage you to do is on a daily basis or even a weekly basis, when you look at your to-do list, really ask yourself, what are the most important things? What are the biggest rocks on this list that I want to get done first so that I can feel really good and really satisfied at the end of this week knowing that we got that done? And I promise you, prioritizing those things is what will help you get more momentum in your communications program and ultimately feel like you're getting more progress and more done in your communications program. I'd love to hear from you in the comments below and let me know what tips you plan to try and which ones are really resonating with you. It'd be great to hear from you and hear what's sticking for you after watching this video. And I hope it's helpful for you as you move towards making more strides in your communications program. And finally, if you've enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more great video content on storytelling and communications. You can use the button that's down in the lower right-hand corner of this video to subscribe.